Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Thoughts on Education with us. We have today Ms. Sirali Mehta, Dr. Sirali Mehta, the principal of SLU Arts and Commerce College. So ma'am, we will start off with an introduction of yourself.
I'm Dr. Sirali Mehta. I'm principal of SLU Arts and Commerce College for Women. We are a very, very, very old institution and very well known in Gujarat because we have actually completed our 100th year last year. So we have begun with our 101st year. So we are one of the pioneering women's institution in Ahmedabad, in fact, all over Gujarat. So it must be a wonderful thing for people to know that in the ages or in the times in 1920, that was our year of establishment, pre-independence era, when women absolutely hadn't had proper opportunities for higher education. That was the time when this college started.
That is great, ma'am. That is great. So you have held key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that have kept you connected to the education sector?
One of the key factors, right? Our college, the basic focus of the college is empowerment of women. That is our mission, and that is the reason for which this institution was actually created in the olden days. So even at present, in this modern context also, sometimes it is a question that why in this day and age do we have a separate institution for women? But the reason is that our entire focus is on empowerment. So even the courses which we have, which we are running it in such a way that we want that the personality of the student is developed in a proper way, in every way. So the ideals of our founders, we are trying to achieve them even today. Even in this modern age, we want the women to find their own feet. We want them to build their own careers. We want them to be a very big support to their families. We want them to contribute to society in such a way that they are able to demonstrate how important a woman's role is in life. So we try to build women in such a way, that is the main thing, that over and above the normal courses. See, graduate courses, postgraduate courses are run everywhere by women. There are opportunities for women in many of the colleges. So that is not an outstanding factor in the sense that there are graduate colleges everywhere. But what we try to do is that along with this graduate course, we want that the women should get opportunity to develop themselves in such a way that the college should conform to the personality of the student. It should add to it. It's not just by rote you learn certain things and then you by rote you appear in the exams and it's all over. It's not like that. What we do is we run the courses in such a way that the personality of the student is developed in a proper way. So our focus is not just on academics, not just on teaching, not just on reading, writing, but we have so many activities going around all the year round. So this is our primary focus. If anybody even looks at our website, you will be able to see that we have a plethora, we have immense number of activities going on all the year round, which the student can join.
So, what has kept you connected to the education sector on a personal level?
See, I am basically an academician. I've been a teacher for so many years, and during my career, I have been almost 35-40 years of teaching. And along with that, I am totally involved in giving to the students what they deserve to be given. In the sense that they come to us, students come to us in such a way, they come to us with so many expectations. So I try to organize things in my college and with the university and with the government in such a way that we can give the best of everything to them. So I am not only a principal or managing the organization over here, but we are also very well connected with all the various fora, like board of studies in the university, or whether it's academic councils or these exam-oriented activities. Then there are so many activities done by the government, like careers and placements and guidance and So very much involved in all that.
Great one, great one. So, being the principal of SLU Arts and Commerce College, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership?
I feel that each institution is always led from the top. So if we provide the best kind of guidance, we provide a role model, then the others will follow accordingly, whether it is teachers or whether it is administration or whether it is students. We can only lead by going in the direction ourselves. So that is what I've always tried to do, keep the team together, keep pushing them, keep motivating them. And I have an impression, I carry an impression of being a very liberal person, which I really am, because I give a lot of freedom to my faculty members, I give a lot of freedom to my students also, and I allow them to take initiative where it needs to be taken. So it's not like I'm pushing them all the time, but I give them a lot of freedom to develop their own selves, even develop their courses, even come up with new suggestions. So I find that this type of a liberal stand is a way of leadership which has always worked out for me.
That is great. That is great. So, how does the curriculum of SLU Arts and Commerce College for Women ensure the best practice of industry?
We are not just an educational institution. Our trust, which is Gujarat Stree Kemani Mandal, is also a social institution. So in that sense that we have always been involved in helping out girls with their social problems and social difficulties and encouraging them to come out of their families, even come out of their problems. So whenever even in our curriculum, we blend it in such a way that involve a lot of social activities also. So there is a standard practice everywhere of doing NSS, NCC, all that is always there. But every now and then we have special programs. We introduce them to the social causes. We involve them in workshops, in seminars, in making presentations, in finding out ways and means by which they can solve their social problems also. So we are more socially connected in that way. So our curriculum, over and above, curriculum is set by the Gujarat University. So basically we do follow that curriculum. But along with that, almost every week, I think you can say, and almost every alternate day, we have some other activity going on by each department. For example, we have things like career fairs, we have Anand Mela, then we have a fashion designing course going on along with it programs where girls learn to make certain things. In fact, we have certain practices, that where every year we have exhibitions in our colleges. So in those exhibitions, students make their own products, they sell them over here, and they learn how to market them, they learn how to, sell in the market and adjust accordingly. So we do have these type of activities which we blend into the curriculum.
That is great, ma'am. These are initiatives which are actually needed for students to get an understanding of the real world. So that is great. So what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the college and to the students are?
We are a college where many girls are coming who are sometimes first learners of their family. We are a grant-in-aid college, meaning we are not a self-finance college. So the fee structure and all is very, very adjusted in the sense that very nominal fees have to be paid. And this kind of a thing, and also that we offer so much variety in the sense that we have Gujarati medium, English medium, we have commerce, we have arts, we have home science. So there's a lot of choice. So many girls who would not probably go to study if their parents wouldn't allow them to go to co-education colleges, such girls are also coming to our college. So due to that, we do receive students coming from economically poor backgrounds. They are coming from socially very tight regulated kind of setup. And so this gives them a very good avenue to explore their own selves. So I consider it my responsibility and responsibility of all our staff members to be able to bring them out of their shells. These girls are so living in such protected environments. Some of them have not even left the town and gone anywhere else in the world. Not all, I am talking about some. But what we want is that we want them to blend into society. We want them to grow their personality in such a way that their development, their confidence also increases. So we do kind of a hand-holding thing, that we see to it that each girl who's there in the college, she gets adequate opportunity to develop herself. So I think that I feel is a major role in these times also. Although the world has moved very far ahead, we are now into globalization, and you will be surprised that in spite of this type of a situation, girls who are coming to our college have gone internationally also. They've represented in our college in sports all over the world, Malaysia and places like that. They get an opportunity after coming out from such a small shell, then they go right up to the national level. Our girls are representing us in all the states. They are representing us in sports and activities and competitions all over India and even outside.
Yeah, that is great. So, what do you think should be the college's top priority over the next 10 years?
See, we all along we have focused on empowerment. So we are doing it in such a way that the priority still in this day and age also remains basically empowerment. But then we also want them to aim for more and more excellence in every field. So it's not just empowerment, but also excellence. And I'm proud to say that our students from MCOM and from Commerce, they are, and from Home Science, many of them are winning medal at the university in the academics. And many of our students are stand the first 15 in the university rank in terms of academics. So I feel that not just focus on bringing them up, but next 10 years, we wanted to focus more on excellence so that they are not just empowering themselves, but they are also excelling and competing very well with the others. And moreover, we want to focus more on language skills. Many of our girls are not so adequate or not so comfortable in the English language. So we want to focus on that also, that their communication skills should be advanced. They should be encouraged to do more of digitalization also. So I think this is the age of digitalization. So we want to focus on excellence, digitalization, and building their own skills in such a way.
When you first came to SLU Arts and Commerce College, what was your vision for the college, and has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementation of that vision?
Maybe at the time when I entered into the college, this is probably a matter of pride for me that we weren't so much into academics and all these activities. We were doing them, but we were doing it on a low key. After I entered the college, I started focusing more on these things. And due to that, it's today is the situation that we have built up a kind of a college culture. We have built up a kind of an annual calendar where I feel that whether I'm here or not, that calendar is now well set in the sense that everybody knows that once the term starts, the first week, second week, third week, these are the things that one has to do for the girls. So I feel that I have evolved a kind of a culture where I have set up I've structured everything in such a way that now things are moving very smoothly. And moreover, even my focus is also on the teachers. See, development of teachers is also very important, because if the teachers become lax and lazy and they don't want to learn anything new, or they don't want to really focus on anything, then that's not a good thing. So I have also pushed them, and I think that has given good results, that most of my teachers now have a PhD degree. Most of them are doing some kind of research work. Most of them are attending seminars. Most of them are presenting papers. Most of them are writing articles and books, and they are doing a faculty development program. So the quality of teaching and the focus or the sincerity of teachers has also increased. And I feel that we have now been able to evolve situation where teachers are also very well dedicated and they are also focused on the students. I think what more does one want? That is what we want. Ultimately, as the times advance, new courses and new systems and new things keep evolving, but we have to keep keep our pace with that. We have to keep an open mindset, and that is what I think I have been able to cultivate.
Great, of course. Tune with what is going on in the academic world, and passing it on to the students is one important factor which comes into at the role of college and all. So, what would you like people to know about your college they may not know?
Okay. See, we are SLU Arts and Commerce College for Women. So we have two faculties. One is arts faculty, and the arts faculty has got about 10 subject options, and we have a commerce faculty also. In commerce, we are offering English and Gujarati medium, both only for girls, both of these things. Then we also have MCOM at our place. So we have MCOM also in Gujarati and English medium. That will be of interest to the students. Then we are offering other courses like fashion designing. We are also offering computer courses. We have a computer center. So we have several computer courses running at a time. So students can do that also along with. And we are offering short-term courses like spoken English and skill-oriented programs, which the students can do along with these things. And a lot of activities, as I already told you. We are a morning college. Add that. We are a morning college. Our undergraduate courses are running in the morning and postgraduate in the afternoon.
Okay. So, what do you see as the college's greatest strengths?
Greatest strength, I think, is the intimacy between our students and teachers. See, many places are such where students are addressed in a large mass and the teachers are not aware of what is actually going on. But we are we deal with it in a very personalized way. So the interaction between teachers and students is very good, and that kind of hand-holding is very good. That is our biggest strength. And we have 3 to 4 generations of students coming in. So although I'm speaking to you, I don't feel the requirement of ever advertising my college or putting out any notice or putting out any information, because the mothers and grandmothers are sending their daughters to this college. So it's been 3 generations. So any student coming in comes in with a reference that my mother was studying here, my aunt was studying here, my grandmother was studying here. So they keep coming in that way. So I think that is our biggest strength. We have a strong network, a very strong social network.
That is great, ma'am. So having a word of mouth, people coming in to send their own kids to study there again is a very big,
You'll be surprised to know that sometimes the students sit back for a year if they can't get admission in this college, and they wait for a year and say, "Abhi is saal nahi mila, agle saal aayenge." So I said, no, please don't do that. Don't waste your year. You put your daughter in some other college, because if it's not lacking merit, then they might not get admitted. So in that case, but then that kind of preference is there, that we don't mind waiting a year, but we want to join this college.
That actually speaks a lot about the college. So that is great. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see for the higher education in general and for your college specifically?
See, I think the entire education sector now has got divided into private and grant in aid and government. So nowadays, the government is putting in a lot of support for all the government colleges. And the private colleges are able to fend for themselves, but we belong to a mid-strata, which are grant-in-aid colleges, where we are needing a lot of financial help from the government also. And at the same time, we are following a lot of regulations from the government, which perhaps some others need not do that. So there are a lot of constraints in the sense that we are not getting adequate NOCs, not getting our posts filled up, because we have to go through the government structure for this. So that hampers, our quality, in the sense that we have to fend out for ourselves because our posts don't get filled up in time. Our, administration suffers in that sense. perhaps in that way, private colleges have an advantage because they are able to recruit their own people and just carry on their work. But here, because of all this, these are our major constraints: administrative constraints, financial constraints. So we have some difficulties in trying to make our ends meet. Yeah. Other than that, we are fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the case for many government colleges because they have to go and follow some structure and they have to follow those procedures. So that is true. So, are there any suggestions that you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
For students, one motto I feel for any student entering any college, not particular just ours, I feel how much you learn. This is not a time when you are going to get spoon-fed for everything. So I feel that students now ought to motivate themselves in a way. This is the time not of teaching. It is a time of self-learning. So if you want to really learn something, then you have to be motivated enough to try hard yourselves. So make a positive motivation. Make sure that you. I keep telling my students every now and then, make sure teacher ko mat chodo. Teachers are here for you, but you have to get behind them. All the material in the world is now at their fingertips. Nowadays, we never had so much access to internet and Google, and everything is available. So when everything is available, then what you take is entirely dependent on you. So you have to build your own self. You have to build your motivation. You have to be focused. If you're not focused, then even if you get the best, you will not be able to absorb it. So I think that focus on what they want to do, what they want to achieve, and what they want to get from their careers. That has to be very clear in the minds of the students. And therein, I think, is the role of teachers and parents.
What are your plans that you are currently designing for the college?
We want to expand. We want more space. We want to go in for more of. We are probably looking out for some more land or more place to expand the college so that we can take in more students. We can explore into diversify into other branches also, other than what we are doing at present. We want to add to the courses. We want to add bridge courses. Then we would like expansion of our digitalization facilities also. But for that, maybe it's again a question of finance. If we have that, then there is a lot we would like to do. We can make it. So expansion in every way.
Okay, that is great. So, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your college?
See, we are a very close-knit college, and we always call ourselves SLU Parivar. We don't call it a college; we call it SLU Parivar, and our management is also very close to us. So, in that sense, the students, the teachers, the faculty members, they are in that sense quite close-knit, and that helps a lot in motivating and taking care of all the things. And even when we do any activities or we plan for any activities, it is always a mutual and a joint effort. It's not like top ways that I give orders and everybody obeys. We do it in a mutual way. So that kind of group activity, getting together as a family and achieving our goals, that is our method of doing things.
Thank you for being here, ma'am. We have gotten a lot of insights about your college, and it will be very helpful for the students to be researching for the college.
Thank you so much.